Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Okay. Well, welcome everyone. I'm gonna do the drill press demo and also the saw demo. Welcome everyone. So as you can see, my jewelry piece of a bicycle. The first thing you're gonna do is decide where the drill holes are going to go. Notice I put Sharpie dots all around where I'll drill the holes. One thing I want to point out is that when you drill the holes in a tight corner, you don't want to put the hole too tight to the corner. You want to go a little bit inward, and the reason why is because otherwise your shape will not be nice and sharp, and instead it'll, you want it to look like you don't want to see the evidence of the drill holes in the end. So that's why you'd go a little bit inward. But anyway, we are going to drill. First, before you drill though, you must punch a divot. So over here, this is called a punch block, and these are called the punch. So all you're going to do is you're going to tap a few times on every dot that you have. Notice I'm not tapping too hard or too aggressively. Just a couple taps ought to do it. And what that is doing is putting little divots into the metal, and that is what will lead the drill into the metal. And if you do not punch, it'll scratch your tissue paper all up. So it is important that you do that to every single drill. And again, this is not the drill, okay? So don't try to punch through this metal, because I know people will try if I don't tell them. Alright, now I'm ready to use the drill. So notice I did not do every hole. I just did a couple just for demonstration purposes. But alright, before you do this, make sure you wear safety goggles to protect yourself. We also have, for extra added protection, we have a safety guard. How about that? To turn on the drill press, there's this red button at the top. Okay. And just make sure that if you ladies long hair, you want to tuck that back in a ponytail for safety's sake, or like this, anything you're wearing. This does spin, so when you're going to get up close, you don't want it to catch on your hair. So just to make note of that. Alright, so now when I turn this on, I'm just going to bring right into the drill itself. Oh, actually, sorry. This is how you crank up the work table. Alright, now I'm just going to bring the drill into the hole and just lightly go into the metal. Notice I'm not shoving it, I'm just slightly going in and going out. So I did enough to get at least 2 shapes cut out as a starter. Next, I will demonstrate how to use the saw and how to cut out those shapes. So,
Why don't you just take this out?
alright.
We'll trim this off.
Okay, should we start a new video?
Yeah.
That thing's so obnoxiously loud, but there's like something wrong with the belt. Well, to saw, you will need, to get set up, first of all, you will need a V-board and a C-clamp. Notice it kind of, looks like the letters. Alright, the purpose of the V-board and the C-clamp, that is your workspace. That is your jeweler's, fill in the blanks. Amy, help me out. What do you call it? Workspace?
It's your workspace.
Thank you. Workspace. Alright, now one thing I notice is when I watch students work, a lot of times I see them do like this, and that defeats the purpose of actually what the V-board is for. You want it to hang off, I would say about 2 inches on, and you just twist your C-clamp until it's nice and tight. And the V, this is what will help you get into those hard to reach angles and your shape. Okay, now to put on my saw, First thing you want to notice is you want to look at the direction of the teeth, the angle of the teeth. There's little tiny itty bitty teeth. Sometimes I like to put it up to the light to look at it. But the angle of the teeth should be facing away and downward. Okay? So first I'm going to start in this position into this tiny little clamp. You're going to put that saw, and sometimes it's hard to adjust it, so I sometimes like to put the handle against my tummy, hold it in place, and twist it. You want that saw to be right in line with the handle. Alright. Now I'm going to find one of those holes that I cut out, and I'm going to simply just put the saw right through the hole. Oh, ready? Saw's very flexible, so it's okay. Alright, now what I'm going to do is, notice I kind of like to put the saw against my chest like that, just to get it in line. Kind of helps a little bit. But I'm going to put this saw now in the second position up here.
Okay.
Okay, so to back up a little bit, I have number 1 in position tight, and number 2 in position is tight. So now you want to pull up these as tight as you can, and then twist, twist, twist. I often do it a couple times just to make sure, because you want your saw to be nice and tight in there, almost like a high guitar string. Bing, 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 bing. You hear that? Alright. So it's got to be tight. Okay? You can wiggle it a few times, but it should be nice and tight. Again, check the direction of the saw. It should be angled downward, the saw teeth. If it is, then you're ready to cut. Alright. So, you want to hold the metal in place, and when you saw, you want to keep the saw up and down as much as possible. And you're going hole to hole. It's kind of just like connect the dots. I wouldn't worry about the detail so much. I have number 1 in position tight, and number 2 in position is tight. So now you want to pull up these as tight as you can, and then twist, twist, twist. I often do it a couple times just to make sure, because you want your saw to be nice and tight in there, almost like a high guitar string. Bing, 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 bing. You hear that? Alright. So it's got to be tight. Okay? You can wiggle it a few times, but it should be nice and tight. Again, check the direction of the saw. It should be angled downward, the saw teeth. If it is, then you're ready to cut. Alright. So, you want to hold the metal in place, and when you saw, you want to keep the saw up and down as much as possible. And you're going hole to hole. It's kind of just like connect the dots. I wouldn't worry about the detail so much.